Hello, everyone. Welcome to Nilanjana's exclusive English lessons. This is Nilanjana Sarkar, your English language teacher, more than 15 years of teaching experience. And today I'm here to teach you about essay writing. So today we're going to learn how to write an essay step by step under 10 minutes. Yes, that's what it may seem a miracle, but I'm going to show you how you can finish your essay writing within 10 minutes and wherein you can just structure your essay, plan your writing, and get very good marks in essay writing. Okay, so let's get started. Things that you need to remember before you write an essay is you need to choose the topic wisely. Now, what do I mean by this? Choosing the topic wisely. When we get it in the question paper, often it may seem to us that, hey, this topic looks interesting, so let me start writing about this. However, when you start writing, that's when you realize that you don't know much about it. So never make this mistake that, just start writing on any topic that you see in the question paper. Rather, you should choose a topic where you have enough content to write. Okay, so that's the first thing that you have to remember. The next thing is your language. Now, this is creative writing. Remember that this is creative writing, and therefore you need to have good expressions in your essay writing. Now, by good expressions, I'm not trying to say that you will impress the examiner with bombastic and very big and lengthy words, very decorative words, but try to use expressions which are fresh and which sound pleasing so that you can get good marks in your expression. Because see, when the essay is evaluated, it is evaluated in three ways. One is content, one is your accuracy, and the other is your expression. The next thing is your grammar. As I said just now, that accuracy refers to grammar, like how accurate you are in your grammatical approaches. Like if you make grammatical errors in your sentence structures, like you make mistakes in subject verb agreement, or you use a wrong preposition in your sentence, that's where you can lose marks. The next thing is your content. You need to have enough material, enough subject matter to write in the essay. If you are repetitive, if you keep on repeating the points every now and then, you can understand that the examiner will lose interest, and he will very well evaluate you that you don't have that kind of hold on the content or the subject matter. And yes, logical arrangement of thoughts. Now, what is logical arrangement of thought? This means that when you structure your essay, your thoughts needs to be arranged in a logical, chronological manner. And here you can see I have given you a very important tip that you can remember. Whenever you're writing an essay, if you understand this word power, wherein P stands for plan, O stands for organize, W stands for write, E stands for edit, and R stands for revise. Now, what does this mean? If you remember these 5 things, you will be able to ace your essay writing. Okay, so let's begin the essay writing. But before that, I want to ask you one question. What are the types of essay writing that you know? Now, there are various types of essay writing which your school must have taught you or your teachers must have taught you. I want all of you to write it in the comments and tell me that what are the various types of essay writing that you have heard about. I will definitely give the answer at the end. Okay. So now what is the marking scheme of your essay writing? Usually if you're in ICSE board, the marking scheme is 20 marks and you are supposed to write in 300 to 350 words. Now, I always tell my students that it's not the quantity, but the quality. Now, if you fill up 2.5 pages or 3 pages by writing which is not interesting at all, which is repetitive, definitely you will not be able to score good marks. So on one hand, if you have to keep an eye on the number of words, on the other hand, you also need to take care about the kind of the quality of your writing. So today we're going to discuss about descriptive composition, descriptive essay writing. And see, descriptive essay writing can come in any ways. It can be, you may be asked to describe an object, or you can even be asked to describe a person or even describe a scene. Take a sample question And yes, if you're writing a descriptive essay, the two things that you have to remember is you need to have an eye for detail. Now, what do I mean for having an eye for detail? This means that you need to include more descriptions in your essay writing. You need to describe everything in a very detailed manner. And the next thing is you have to use your five senses. Now, this is very important. So, what are the five senses? Now, the five senses are the what you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, and how you feel. So, in a descriptive essay, you need to remember these two things. Today, I have taken the question, describe a time when all the lights in your locality went off. What were the sounds you heard as you sat in the darkness? How did you feel when the lights were restored? Now, this is the question which was given in your ICSE exam in the last year. And I thought of taking up this question and giving you the guidelines at how you can have the correct approach of the essay writing. Now, if you read the question carefully, certain things are already mentioned in the question that you need to touch upon. What were the sounds you heard? So, if while describing the time when there was a power cut in your locality, if you start writing about something which is not being asked, like for example, you narrate a story, that is when you lose your marks, because I repeat, this is descriptive writing and you have to concentrate more on the description part. Okay, so here we begin. And yes, if you think that you're learning something new, that you are gaining some knowledge about essay writing, I would request you to hit the subscribe button. Do not hesitate to do that. And also like this video. You can also share it with your friends, because if you are learning something new, it's always good to even share this knowledge with someone else who will also learn something. I mean, we should always help someone. So in that way, you should also share it. If you feel that this is good enough, please share it with your friends. Okay, so let's come back. So here we begin. This is the first introductory paragraph of your essay writing. Remember, when you're writing an introduction, it should not be more than 30 to 40 words. Again, a very common mistake which I have observed is students continue with the introduction in the first page, and by the time the examiner reaches the second page, probably then the actual content or the subject matter starts. Please do not make this mistake, because it really irritates the examiner. Try to finish off your introduction in the first para, maximum 30 to 40 words. So here we go. Now, this is the essay which I have written. Now, this cannot be the best version, of course. If you all can write better than this, nothing like it. I have just tried to give you a guideline about how you can have a correct approach about the essay. I was about to complete my maths practice paper when all of a sudden my room was engulfed in darkness. It took a moment for me to realize what has happened. It dawned on me only after some time that there was a power cut. I peeped through the window and I could see at a distance a few lights blinking here and there. Now, this is the introductory paragraph, and I have described here the darkness, that my room was engulfed in darkness. This is one of the phrases that I have used. Even you can take examples from such phrases. And I have also mentioned that there was a power cut. That's the reason the lights were off. I have also mentioned that I peeped through the window and I could see at a distance a few lights blinking here and there. So I have described what I was able to see out of the window. Let's move on to the next paragraph. Now, if you have enough content to write in the body, then the body of the essay can be split into 2 to 3 paragraphs. So this is the first paragraph of the body which I have written. I thought of catching up with some sleep, as sleep had eluded me for more than 24 hours. I made my bed and lay down, but could not sleep. I got up, went out to the balcony for a little air, but the wind god seemed to have taken time off. I decided to pull a chair and sit. The children were playing in the garden. Their cacophony broke the silence of the air. The next day was my maths exam. The Thanos of all and the formidable maths paper was dreaded by me. I wondered when the lights would be back and I can get back to work. So this is the second paragraph, the first paragraph of the body. And here what I have mentioned, that once the lights were off, I mentioned that I probably wanted to sleep because it was my maths exam. next day, and probably I was not getting enough sleep because of continuous studies. So what did I do? I made my bed and lay down. Again, I got up and went out to the balcony for a little air. Please observe the details that I have mentioned. As I mentioned, that you need to have an eye for detail, lot of descriptions has to be included. Their cacophony means a strong sound, a very loud sound, broke the silence of the air. So which sense am I using here? I'm using the sense of hearing. Okay, so, and I also added a little humor over here just to, make the examiner, a little lighthearted. So I have mentioned a little bit of humor over here, that maths paper was literally dreaded by me. I was very scared of maths. So this is the first paragraph of the body. We move on to the next paragraph. I looked up at the clear blue night sky. Again, which sense am I describing over here? I'm using the sense of seeing. Whatever I'm seeing, I'm describing that. The moon looked like a silver disk hanging in the lonely sky. Again, I'm using a simile, and even you can do that. If you want to make your descriptions really stand out, you can, of course, use a simile. I was beguiled by its beauty, means you were very charmed by the beauty of the moon. How busy are we with our mechanical lives? Nature has so many things to explore. There were frogs chorusing in the swampy green belt down past the street. The rainy season was not yet over. Again, I've used one more sense. I've used the sense of hearing. In the last paragraph also, I have used the sense of hearing. So in this way, you have to incorporate all the senses in one way or the other so that the descriptions become more realistic and creative. Yeah, pangs of thirst reminded me that it had been an hour I was sitting idle. I paced down the room and entered the kitchen. Again, detailing. I'm explaining what I am doing. I poured myself some chilled water and gulped it down. That was so rewarding. I knew where the candles were kept, but I did not intend to light one. I thought I had got used to darkness. So this is how I have described in the third paragraph what I was doing when the lights were out. So here again, I have used a specific sense. I have used the sense of taste. When I'm pouring some water and drinking, I have used the sense of taste. So in this way, as I said, try to keep using all the various kinds of senses. Finally, we come to the conclusion. All of a sudden, light blinked into my eyes. I was relieved. The neighborhood chorused a sigh of relief. Again, I'm using the sense of hearing, sense of sound. Several thoughts rushed into my mind, reminding me of my pending work. I sat at my desk and opened my maths book. One thing that kept reminding me was that sometimes a small incident is a blessing in disguise. Why? When there is no light, there is no distraction. Unknowingly, I relaxed for an hour. Sometimes there is a profound need for solitude. Those solitary moments recharged my energies. So in the last paragraph, I have mainly spoken about my sense of feeling. As I said that there are 5 senses and you can use the sense of feeling in between. So I have here used at the end that how I felt. So this is what, you can take examples from if you have to write a descriptive paragraph or descriptive composition rather. But please remember that you need to focus on the language. You also need to focus on the details, because the more descriptions you give, you will be having a chance of scoring more marks in your essay writing. And yes, remember to divide your ideas in paragraphs, because many a time I have seen students, they don't write in paragraphs and they don't, plan their essay, because if you don't plan, sometime later you will realize that you have nothing much to write. Okay, so that was all about this descriptive essay. In my next video, I will definitely talk about a narrative essay. So please, follow my playlist. And if you really want to know more about descriptive writing, do not forget to watch my video on how to write a descriptive paragraph. I will share the link in the description box. The question which I had asked in the beginning, that what are the types of essay writing? So here I'm giving you the answer. The various types of essay writing that usually you can get in your exams are descriptive, narrative, argumentative, story writing, and picture composition. Hope I have answered the question. Thank you so much and see you soon again in my next video.